Other than yourself or whatever it is that you're thinking, who you think had the best verse on that song?
Damn, that's a good question. I think everybody had a really good verse. You think about Nature. Nature killed it. Big Pun killed it. The Locks killed it. If I had to pick, if I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Nature. Only reason I'm going with Nature is because he went first, and it's a lot of names outside of Nature that had successful careers on that song, to where Nature didn't really have that big a career outside of the mixtapes and being on a few Nas features, etc. So for him to keep up and have a good verse with people who went on to have legendary careers or great careers, whether it's Big Pun, The Locks, Noriega, myself, and the people on that song, I'm gonna give it to Nature.
Cameron just named the one rapper he believes outshined Jadakiss on a legendary track. And almost nobody saw this answer coming. For years, fans have argued over who had the hardest verse on one of hip-hop's most iconic collaborations, with names like Jadakiss, Styles P, Big Pun, Cameron himself, and Nori on the same record. Most people expect one of the biggest stars to take the crown. But during this clip, Cameron shocked a lot of people when he revealed the rapper he thinks actually stole the entire song. His answer wasn't Jadakiss, it wasn't Big Pun, and it wasn't himself either. And what makes his choice even more surprising is the reason behind it. Cameron didn't just pick the best bars. He looked at who had the most pressure, who had the least recognition, and who still managed to stand toe-to-toe with some of the greatest lyricists of all time. Now I'm about to let y'all hear this for yourselves, but before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
That's not the same time though. That's a different story.
I know.
But yeah, when I seen so you know, back in the days, Harlem and older people in Harlem still say it, and they'll be like, "Yo, what's up, Dick?" And my man Mo Sticky still says that to people, like, "Yo, what up, Dick?" It's no offense by it. That's just older people in Harlem slang. And we was in front of the La Montrose, that's what it's called. Me, Suge, and Baron Davis. We wasn't together. I just happened to see Baron and Suge in front of the hotel. And I spoke to Suge and Baron Davis, and my DJ's name is Mo Sticky, and he came downstairs and we introduced him. And I don't think Mo paid attention to who he's talking to, and he just turned around and gave Suge a 5 and was like, "Yo, what up, Dick?" And Suge just looked at him like, "What?" And gave him that look. I was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Oh no, I was just saying what's up." And Suge just gave him a look and like walked off like, y'all niggas better watch y'all mouth. Not saying better watch y'all mouth, but he's like, I don't know what y'all trying to say, but Mo Sticky definitely gave him a 5 like, "What's up, Dick?" And Suge was like, "Get your man," basically. And it turned into a whole little mess. Mo Sticky got paranoid. Then the security we was with got paranoid, said we need to change hotels and all type of shit. Y'all called Suge Dick and all type of shit. But he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it in a bad way. That's just like old school slang. But yeah, that was pretty much the gist of that story. I don't want to get into too much more of that because it wasn't nothing.
Yeah. You was on Banned from TV, a classic track. Noriega featuring Nature, Kissing Styles, yourself, Big Pun. Other than yourself or whatever it is that you're thinking, who you think had the best verse on that song?
Damn, that's a good question. I think everybody had a really good verse. You think about Nature. Nature killed it. Big Pun killed it. The Locks killed it. If I had to pick, if I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Nature. Only reason I'm going with Nature is because he went first, and it's a lot of names outside of Nature that had successful careers on that song, to where Nature didn't really have that big a career outside of the mixtapes and being on a few Nas features, etc. So for him to keep up and have a good verse with people who went on to have legendary careers or great careers, whether it's Big Pun, The Lox, Noriega, myself, and the people on that song, I'm going to give it to Nature only because he's not a name that everybody recognizes, and I think he did more than hold his own on the track.
Oh, okay. In your studio, I noticed a couple of times you got the platinum selling girl group 3LW. They gave you a plaque with your name on it. Why does 3LW, why is your name on a 3LW plaque?
Because I'm a ghostwriter, son, all right? I'm the ghost that writes.
All right.
But, sorry, I was reading something. I was about to get more intricate. Yeah, basically, I was signed to Epic Records after my first deal. My second album did Epic Records, and they was on Epic, and they needed a rap part. I didn't write the R&B part of the song, but they needed a rap part for the song. My man Dave McPherson, who was the president or whatever his title was at Epic at the time, asked me to do it. I wrote it. It went platinum, and the rest is history. It isn't really a big story behind it, to be honest with you. I wrote for a lot of different people, but that song ended up being really successful for them. And yeah, like I said, shout out to Dave McPherson, Epic Records. They need a rap part. I wrote the rap part for Shorty, and the song ended up going platinum, and that's pretty much it.
The biggest lesson from this whole conversation is that greatness is not always decided by who became the biggest star. That's what I actually enjoy most about Cam'ron's answer here. He didn't pick the obvious name just because of reputation. He looked at the performance itself. And that kind of honesty is something hip-hop needs more of. Way too many debates turn into popularity contests instead of conversations about the actual music. I also think this is why classic rap records continue to age so well. Every time you go back and listen, you catch something different. One day you might think Jadakiss had the best verse. The next time, you might lean toward Big Pun. Then after hearing Cam'ron explain it, you might think about Nature more. That's what makes legendary collaborations timeless. They never stop creating new discussions. The other thing that stood out to me was how much respect Cam'ron showed for everybody involved. He didn't try to tear anybody down to build somebody else up. He gave credit to every artist on the record before explaining why Nature deserved more recognition. That's a mature way to talk about hip-hop history. You can celebrate one artist without disrespecting another. So let me ask you all this. Do you agree with Cam'ron that Nature delivered the strongest verse, or do you still think Jadakiss or another rapper owned that classic feature? And after looking at all the legends on this record, who impressed you the most and why? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.